now, but you could always order online with Michaels, and they usually comes pretty quickly. Also, I did do a shopping list for dickblick.com, and you can probably order through them or Amazon some of these things pretty easily. So let's get started. I know at Walmart they have this book, and it's called the Canson Brand Mixed Media Pad, and this is a pretty big one. This is 14 by 17 inch. I don't know if Michaels has this big size. I think they have one that's just a bit smaller, but that one's just perfectly fine. And this mixed media pad is really important. The Canson brand is good, but the paper is nice and thick, so I'm able to do anything on here. I've done acrylic paintings, watercolors. These are all, you know, lessons that I've taught previous classes. But look, I'm even using puff paint on here and chalk pastels, and so you can use this pad for a variety of different projects. So I highly recommend grabbing a pad like this if you can. And then you don't even have to tear the pages out. You can just keep all of your kids' artworks just in here. And it's fabulous. So I would suggest getting this for sure. And then if you are interested in any less messy option for paint, Michaels or Michaels.com sells these Craft Smart tempera paint sticks, and they work really nicely. I've done an example back here of the black because this week we're going to do a lesson on Picasso, and we're going to paint and draw a rooster. So I tried the paint sticks, and then I tried using some oil pastel on top of it and some chalk pastel, and both mediums worked on top of this paint stick. So if you don't want to buy tubes of paint, then you can just get these paint sticks and they work just fine. If you want to go the paint route, I highly suggest that you grab yourself one of these clipping trays from Walmart, and you can get, they have them right in Eagle River, and they just store the paint. Like, you can squeeze all your paints in here from the tubes that you buy, and then lock the containers down like that, and it'll keep the paints nice and moist. So I think they're like maybe $10 or $7, or you can order a bunch of them on Amazon for a lot less. But yeah, this is a great find. I like to get these Astro Brights, and I know I got this at Walmart. It's just cardstock, but it takes mediums really nicely. So I'm gonna have my son use this today for the rooster project. So you can get this at Walmart, and it's just cardstock. They sell white cardstock. They sell a bunch of different colors, so you can always get that for paper too if you don't want just flimsy construction paper. This is something that I've had a hard time finding. I went to Fred Meyer, I went to Walmart, and they did not have the chalk pastels. So if you get chalk pastels, you probably have to order those online, like Amazon.com or Michaels.com or dickblick.com. And they're cheap, they're not expensive. I did buy these at Fred Meyer. They just don't have them in right now. So check at Fred Meyer and check at Walmart periodically, but I haven't been able to find them. If you can't get them, just let me know, because I have a ton of them from class that I brought home, so I can always make you a baggie and bring them to your house. This I got at Fred Meyer. It's oil pastels, Crayola brand, and you can get them at Walmart as well, but they're like $2 or something like that. It's really cheap, but I use oil pastels a lot. And then as far as the acrylic paints go, there's several different brands. I think this is what Walmart carries. It is the Art Advantage, and this is just fine. The colors that I really like are black and white. This is cadmium yellow light, or lemon yellow. I love that color. This mixed with black makes like this amazing green. This is cadmium yellow medium, so you can see the difference in color. Maybe you can't, hopefully you can, but they're important. The differences are important. I love this color. This is cadmium red medium. Usually I have parents get magenta, and this is black. It looks white, but it's actually black. See if I can find my phthalo green. This mixed with white makes this amazing sea color. It's like a turquoise green. It's so awesome. But here's another Liquitex basic. You could buy this stuff at Michael's pretty cheaply. Let's see, what else? Where's my white? There's my white. I think I got this at Walmart. So I have primary colors. Oh, I'm missing ultramarine blue. Ultramarine blue is like this really pretty sky blue color. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, that's phthalo blue. Okay, so phthalo blue, phthalo green. These make my sea colors that I love with white, okay? This is why I choose these colors, because they make amazing ocean colors. Then there's black. Black you need to make shades. Whites you need for tints. Yellow makes this amazing green color when mixed with black. I love this color, and it's like a lemon. So it's kind of hard to make a lemon with this color. I just feel like this color is better for when you're trying to mix orange. So I have you get a medium, a light yellow, a medium red, a magenta red, and then white, black, phthalo blue, phthalo green, and then last is ultramarine blue, which is this one. And I believe Fred Meyer and Walmart will have this. So these are the colors that I would love for you to get if you decide to go this route, which I use all the time. Otherwise, you just buy these paint sticks. And the paint sticks come in different thicknesses too. You can actually get paint sticks that are thicker and paint sticks that are thinner. So depending how messy you want to get, that's what you want to do. And then of course make sure you have pencils on hand. And I always keep a ruler on hand. This one's great. I got it at Walmart. It has like a little handle on it, or a straight edge, so kids can make straight lines with it. And other than that, I think that's like the basics. So take that lesson, and hopefully you guys can get some supplies. Otherwise, text me, call me, and I'll try and make you a goodie bag. Okay guys, I'm gonna start this lesson. We're gonna talk about Pablo Picasso's painting The Rooster, and that he did that piece of artwork back in I believe it was 38. And what we're going to do for this lesson, this is kind of geared for the older kids, but you could do this with the younger kids as well. It's pretty easy. There's 11 steps to this drawing. The requirements for the supplies are pretty easy. You're going to use your mixed media pad, or you can use black paper. This is just black construction paper, and I also put out this black Astro Bright cardstock. You can use that too. So Gus decided he was going to go with the black construction paper and a white crayon. Now, so I want to do mine right in my mixed media pad, and the paper is required to be black. So I thought I would break out my paint stick to color my paper black, okay? And you can use black acrylic paint if you don't want to use the paint stick, or you don't have them at home. Or like I said, you could just go and get some black construction paper, or the black cardstock, the Astro Bright cardstock that you can buy it from Walmart. I don't know if Fred Meyer has it or not. But anyway, this is step one. I'm just creating my background on my white paper. Let's see how well this works. I want it to be darker. You might use a lot of this paint stick.
Yeah,
End
the
up
rooster,
using it.
the rooster might not show up because there's so much white.
Yeah, might not. But I thought I'd give it a whirl.
Yeah.
So here I'm trying to create as much black on this paper as I can. I kind of like it. I like the texture it's giving me. And on my blog, I will show you, actually probably on this video too, I'll post a picture of the actual piece of artwork. So you'll see it in the video pop up. But we know that Picasso painted he painted three-dimensional pictures on a two-dimensional plane. So when we did the last lesson of drawing Picasso faces, we used the roller Picasso sheets that I got from Teachers Pay Teachers, and it looked like this. So our rooster is going to have features that kind of resemble these eyes. So they're gonna look more two-dimensional. I don't know, what do you think about that? Is this pretty black? Pretty good? It's pretty good. All right, let's see if my white oil pastel is gonna show up on this. So you wanna get your oil pastels out. I don't know if I have white. I'm missing it, so I'm gonna use this real light colored yellow. And if not, I do have my white crayon, but we're gonna start this project. I'm gonna move Beardy aside here. He's our little mascot. Let's see if he's gonna move aside. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the black painted paper that we did in the last clip here. So this is all dry now, and it's ready for me to use my white oil pastel to do the drawing of the rooster. So Gus is gonna use black construction paper, and he's using white crayon. Let me see if we can get Beardy to move over here maybe. And then the second thing we're going to use to color in the rooster along with the oil pastels are the chalk pastels. And it's okay if you don't have chalk pastels. You can just use oil pastels, crayons, but they need to be able to show up on the black background, so oil pastels are probably best. So let's go step by step. So one thing we did learn about Picasso was that he liked to draw three-dimensional objects on a two-dimensional plane. So that is what we're gonna shoot for. So it's gonna look a little funky. And when we start drawing the eyes, I'm gonna go with this Rolla Picasso worksheet that I got from Teachers Pay Teachers. And I will put the link on so that you can, if you wanna purchase it, you can purchase it from her. It's like $3 for the game, but it's really fun. We could sit for hours and draw Picasso faces. It's so much fun. So I'm gonna use that to determine my eye shape, and I'll show it to you again when we get closer to the eyes. But step one is to try and figure out where you're gonna lay your composition. So one thing I tell kids is to draw a little on the big side, because if we focus on drawing something super tiny on this big piece of paper, then you're not gonna have much art to color. So pay attention to my steps, and we're gonna start with step one, which is the eye that's facing forward. Okay, so everybody needs to draw the first eye, and you could pick any kind of eye that you want on this paper or one of your own. But I'm gonna go with just a circle. So let's see. Here's my first eye. Okay, so step two is going to be draw the beak. So, and that is just going to be a backwards C. I usually put like a little curve on the end here because we want it to kind of look like Picasso's rooster. I mean, we don't have to, but you do you. Okay, so step three is to draw that second eye. So remember, he draws on a two-dimensional plane. So I'm going to pick a different eye. Again, I'll hold this up here. You can see the different eye shapes. And So this eye is just, if you want to do this eye, it's just a football inside a football with a circle and a dot. Okay, so here we go with the 5 elements of shape again, right? Gus, can you remember the 5 elements of shape and say them loudly?
Line, circle, dot, squiggly line.
Curvy. And one more, it's the hardest one to remember.
Oh, angled lines.
Angled lines, right. Okay, so we've got step 3 in there. So now we're gonna move on to step 4, which is we're gonna put a outline around the beak. I'm gonna go this way, crazy rooster, like that. And then let's give it a tongue. Boop. I don't even know if chickens have tongues, but we're giving it a tongue. Do they have tongues? I'm sure they do. Yes, I think they do. We'd have to ask Miss Tiffany if they have tongues. Okay, so we got step 4 and step. Okay, so that's one thing I want to talk about before we go any further. We noticed on Gus's picture here that he's probably going to run out of room, so he's going to have to modify. Maybe he just makes a big rooster head and modifies to make his body a bit smaller to make it more proportionate, if you want it proportionate, but really honestly it's a Picasso piece, so it doesn't have to be proportionate. So the other thing is that if you have your paper this way, you would have less space to draw the rooster. So I would actually position my paper in the portrait landscape, or portrait as opposed, this is a portrait view as opposed to the landscape view. Okay, so we decided, we came up with the name of the rooster body part, the red wattle that is underneath its neck. And then Gus, do you remember what the top is called again? You can't forget it because we just looked it up. I am not good with the anatomy of the rooster or chicken. So it's called the comb, C-O-M-B, right? It's called the comb. So we're gonna go and draw for step 6 is the comb. So do you remember what the comb looks like on the rooster or chicken?
It's a giant red thing that has fork-like.
Yeah, that's about right. So if you can imagine, what we're gonna do, kiddos, is we're gonna make it almost looks like, it could look like a moose antler turned, with the tongs facing up. So I'm gonna draw my comb like this. Boom, there's my crazy comb right there. How's yours going? Sweet. Okay, so step 7 is what? We're gonna draw, what's underneath?
The wattle.
The wattle, yeah. So we're just gonna come right underneath our chicken chin here, and we're gonna draw the wattle. Here's my wattle. Wattle, wattle. Okay, step 8 is we're gonna connect that head now, okay? So you can make your head shape however you want, kind of like we did here with the Rolla Picasso. You can choose the shape that you want. And I think I'm gonna go with kind of an angular shape. So I'm gonna start up at the comb and
Looks like he has a
come
chubby
down
chin.
to the wattle. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like the shape,
Looks
Gus.
chungus.
He looks chungus. So, all right, so we're gonna move down to step 9, which is we're gonna create that body shape. And so let's just say I'm gonna go, since I've got kind of like an angular theme going on here, I'm gonna stick with that.
Silvertip gone.
There's my rooster. I don't know where Silvertip's going. He sees something he wants over there.
Yeah, this guy's gonna
Okay.
be tiny.
Yes, it's the body. Yes, you have a very tiny body. Ha!
Smaller
Okay.
than his head.
Smaller than his head. So the last step is we're going to draw this rooster. Actually, it's not the last step, but we're going to draw his legs and claws. So I think I'm going to go with this like angular shape again. And draw that, and I want my claws. And I'll go back and make, so claws, it's hard to see, guys, on here, I'm sure, but I am just making shapes like this. I don't know if you can see it, but
Mine looks like he's throwing up.
like that for his claws, and then his legs, his hocks and his claws. Okay, so the next step is the last step. And so Picasso kind of flourished on this when he did his rooster, and the feathers in the back, he did this like really big curvy line to represent the back of the tail. So I want you guys to give it a try and just watch me when I do it. I'm gonna come off the body, and I'm gonna come up here, and I'm gonna make the first curve, and then I'm gonna make the second curve, and then make the third curve, and they just get kind of progressively smaller. Okay, and this is where he had a lot of fun, it looks like. When you see his original piece, you'll see how beautiful and how much color he puts into this. And so that's where I want you guys to have fun with this, is just the decorating part. Okay, so I've got my rooster. I don't know what I'm doing there with the front of the head. I just added that. I don't know if I like what I just did, but it's okay, because wherever my black paint stick is, maybe I can cover it. I love it. I didn't like what I did, so I just covered it up with my black paint stick. Okay, so the next step that we're gonna do, kids, is we are going to color this guy. So I'm only giving you 2 tools to use in this exercise, and that is the oil pastel, your Crayola ones that you get at the store, and the chalk pastel. So you can just go ahead and just start coloring this and decorate it as you wish, okay?